I was able to stack up 22,560 points for destroy ticks, fireballs, and pops this week during a night raid on Buried City while joining in progress. I will provide a couple of different strategies you can use to chase this trials down, but remember this week's trials is extended until Monday night and will reset going into Tuesday, so keep on grinding your scores. Before I get into the strategy of Buried City, the absolute best place to do this challenge is on Stella Montis during a night raid, saying that you're comfortable with the heavy amount of PvP that can come with that map. I will cover that map briefly at the end of the video. On Buried City, there are a significant number of locations you can find ticks, fireballs, and pops. The largest volume of these enemies can be found in the north side of the map, inside buildings, research, space travel, Galleria, parking garage, and hospital. Additional enemies can be found just outside the hospital and in volume in the northern metro station, and a couple of ticks can also be found in the library. This block can be a great place to rotate through to farm up your score. The other block is near the western station and is within the Piazza Roma and Santa Maria houses. In my opinion, the housing blocks are safer to farm in as less raiders tend to search in these buildings, but they are substantially more complicated to navigate, especially at night with limited visibility. Once you spawn in, head to the location that's closest to you. For me, it was Northern Metro Station, so I started my rotation there. There are 4 total entrances to this station, 2 on each side of the train. Each of the 4 entrances have primarily pops and fireballs, but you can also find some ticks occasionally in there as well. You want to clear each wing of enemies and use the extraction button to call the train so you can move to the other side. If you exit the station to the southeast, you'll come out under the parking garage, which you can then quickly wrap around and find anywhere from 2 to 3 enemies on the second floor of this garage. From that same second floor, there is a makeshift bridge that you can take into the research building. Both research and space travel buildings have a few floors that you can clear, but the most important one is the middle floor because you can hear fireballs and pops above and below you when you're on this floor. If you don't hear anything while moving through that floor, it's a good chance there aren't any enemies around for you to farm, and it'll save you some time running up and down the stairs. When you do find enemies in this building on any of the floors, eliminating them will attract the stragglers to you. Pops and fireballs will often come up or down the stairs to make their way to you, so make sure you clear that section as well. If you come across sentry turrets as you're running around, make sure you take those out as you go. This can help spawn in more pops and fireballs for you on your next rotation back into the buildings. Once you're done in space travel, head over to the Galleria in whatever way suits you the best. You can find enemies on all 3 of the floors in this building, so make sure you check each, though the most common is the middle floor with 2 to 3 pops or fireballs spawning there. When you've cleared the Galleria, head towards the hospital, but stay outside and head towards the broken down convenience store that's right near it. There can be 1 to 2 fireballs or pops that spawn in this area. Once you've cleared the convenience store, head into the hospital. There are a lot of areas that enemies can hide in the hospital, so make sure you run the length of each wing to ensure you've caught everyone. Similar to research and space travel, if you eliminate enemies on the one floor, any above it or below you may start to move towards you using the stairways. Plus, you can hear them beeping and moving around. You may also find sentry turrets scattered around, so make sure you eliminate those as well to ensure you're refreshing the enemy spawns and giving yourself the best chance for more fireballs and pops to spawn in. Once you're done clearing out hospital, head to the zipline in the elevator shaft and take it all the way down to the bottom. From here, you can go back down into the northern metro station and restart your route from there. A bonus tip for those of you who watch this far, you can sometimes silence your slide completely by jump sliding onto the railing instead of the stairs down into the metro station. It is not 100% of the time, but it can be helpful in reducing your noise from other raiders. Outside of that core block of buildings, you can also try Piazza Roma and Santa Maria houses located by the western metro station. If you know the building layouts, you can farm up score here pretty quick, but not knowing how each connects or even how to get inside them can really slow down your pace. At nighttime, it's very hard to know what house you're in and where the next one is, so if you're running outside of a house and not sure if there's enemies inside of it, just run near the walls and you can often hear fireballs and pops making noise when you're close enough to the walls of those buildings. Beyond that, should you want to brave Stella Montis for a potentially higher overall score, accepting the inherent risk to PvP, here are the places you'll want to check. The Seed Vault is a tick haven, and you can clear anywhere from 10 to 15 ticks if you get there first. It only takes a couple of minutes and it is tremendously valuable. The ticks also seem to respawn relatively fast and in volume, letting you come back later to refarm the area and double down on your score. Outside of the Seed Vault, the robotic sandboxes are great for these enemies, plus the hallways that connect them to other areas. And then lastly, the Cultural Archives has a good deal of fireballs and ticks, but it also has more than a couple of shredders, so come prepared to deal with those if you want to try this challenge on that map. That's going to be it for me today, y'all. Thanks for watching.